So INCOTERMS define the buying and selling terms between you and your vendor or you and your customer. So simply put, they determine who owns the goods at which stage and who pays for which elements in the transportation. By the way, don't use INCOTERMS for your logistics providers. What you need to use there is what we call service type. So if you want more info on that on the purely the logistics side, reach out. So you could say that INCOTERMS determine who is responsible for what. So let's explore responsibility in your life. Now, in my lesson 3 of my 6-month Thinking into Results training, we go into great detail on this. So there's a lot more to it than I'm actually going to cover here, but it's a very interesting topic, right? So there's a big difference between being responsible for and being responsible to. So you are responsible for you. There are very few other things that you are responsible for. One of the things you'd be responsible for would be your kids until they're 18 and they reach adulthood, or any pets that you choose to have. And that's it, really. That's really all that you're responsible for. Now, you'll be responsible to a variety of things. So, for instance, if you're employed, you are responsible to your employer to do the job they pay you for. And your employer is responsible to you to pay you for that job. For instance, if you make an appointment with someone, you are responsible to that person to keep the appointment, and vice versa. If we talk about relationships, agreements that you may have in relationships, maybe one of you goes to work and the other one looks after the children. So you are responsible to hold each other to that. And then any agreement really that you enter into with anyone or any business, you will be responsible to keep your end of the bargain. So let's get back to being responsible for. Now, unfortunately, most of us, nearly all of us probably, have been conditioned from a very young age to feel that we are responsible for a lot of things, and especially for other people's thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions. So I really want you to hear this and take it on board, right? You are not responsible how anybody else thinks. You are not responsible for how anyone else feels. You are not responsible for anyone else's actions or reactions. That is their responsibility, their choice. Now, even if something isn't working, so for instance, if you're in a relationship and you are responsible to each other for something, and one of the people doesn't stick with that, then it is still the responsibility of yourself or the other person to choose how they're going to feel, how they're going to think, how they're going to react to that, and what the impact is going to be, what's the impact that they are going to allow it to be. So it is your responsibility to decide and to choose what you think, how you choose to feel, which, by the way, is determined by your thoughts. And you are responsible for your actions and reactions. And really, think about it, right? No one can make you think or feel or do anything you choose. Just like the other person chooses, you can't make anybody else think, feel, or do anything. And how many times have we tried? It just doesn't work. They choose. So many times we worry about what someone else might think. Now, what anyone else thinks is really none of our business, right? What someone else thinks of you is none of your business. What is important is how you think about you, how you feel about you. And if you don't like it, then change it. You're responsible for changing it. So what someone else feels about what you say or do is their business. So of course, you can be conscious that your words or your actions may have an impact on someone else, but they choose what that impact is going to be on them. Now, always stay true to yourself. You will be happy, and you're being honest with the other person so they can make their own decisions from that. Now, growing up, we will hear things like, how do you think that makes me feel? Our parents were good at that, right? They want you to stop crying and stop paddying so that they would feel better. And if you're a parent yourself and your, 2-year-old has thrown a paddy in the supermarket, yeah, of course you want them to stop, right? Because you'll feel better and not so embarrassed. Now, in many relationships, the other person might say, how do you think that makes me feel? Maybe it's something that you say, how do you think that makes me feel? I don't want you to do that. If you do that, I will be unhappy. Now, you are responsible for your own happiness and peace of mind. not for anybody else's. And no one else is responsible for your happiness and your peace of mind. You are, you choose. Now, really give that some proper thought and considerations, right? Because when you truly grasp what responsibility really is and isn't, you create massive freedom for yourself and everybody around you. So as I said, lesson 3 in my 6-month training program covers that in great detail. So if you want to get into more of that and get some more background, then let me know and we can set up a one-to-one. We'd love to speak to you about it. And really, if you are feeling responsible for others, if you're feeling guilty about anything, come talk to me. I'll show you a different perspective, which will totally change your world and theirs as well for the better. I really love this topic. I could absolutely go on forever because it's made such a massive difference in my life when I really sort of understood this. Well, that's it for this week. Next week, we're going to talk about Lunar New Year, aka Chinese New Year. So we'll look forward to that. In the meantime, enjoy your lunch, bon appetit, and eet smakelijk.